Brad, it seems like almost every time that I've seen you, I've always asked an embarrassing question. Not embarrassing you, but embarrassing me. Sometimes it's out of naivete. Sometimes it's just out of, I guess, just childish curiosity. And one of the things I'm curious about, and I'd like to hear your comments on this, we hear people say, I'm a registered Republican or I'm a registered Democrat. Well, that's malarkey because in Montana we don't register as a member of a party. We simply register our name as a voter. When is Montana going to be ready to register by party?
Well, I wish I knew the answer to that question. Two sessions ago, there was a bill that was introduced in the House and ultimately defeated to require that. The Representative Stoker was going to introduce that bill again in this last session and couldn't even get it out of committee this time, so it almost looks as though maybe we're going in the other direction. But there is this idea out there that this open primary is something that's positive for the system. My personal opinion is that the purpose of a party primary is for the party to nominate its candidates for office. And if you don't want to be affiliated with a party, that's fine. I have absolutely no problem with that. But then I'm not sure if you don't want to be affiliated that you ought to have a say in who the candidates are for that party. Is my approach. And
you're either in or you're out.
Yeah, and I think, frankly, we'd be better served if we did register by party. But I also understand that that's going to be a very, very difficult fight, and it's certainly not a hill that I'm going to die on. It's just a difference of opinion between folks like me and a lot of other Montanans who like the open primary and want to maintain it.
Yeah. I see several problems with that open primary. You just mentioned one of them, and that is cross-voting. Well, you're not even cross-voting. You're simply voting in the other party's election. Of course, you're going to vote for the opponent that you think is the weakest, the one that that isn't fair to anybody, because that person could ultimately win, and there you have the weakest of the 4 or 5 that are running in office. And that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Plus the fact that just from a bookkeeping point of view, I guess a statistical point of view, wouldn't each party like to know how many voters they have out there?
Well, when I first got involved in Republican politics in Montana back in the early 80s, I was told that we have to do 2 things from a party standpoint. One is to activate our precinct people and really get them energized, and the other is to have a truly effective voter identification program. 27 years later, when I sit around and talk to Republican strategists, they tell me that there are 2 things we have to do in the Republican Party, and that's energize our precinct people and have a truly effective voter identification program. I think that until we have folks registered by party so that we at least have that as a starting point for voter identification, it's going to be challenging. To start from scratch every time we try and put together that voter ID program is just a daunting task. And to this point, while we have made some progress, we still have a very long way to go. And excuse me, I think it would be, from a political standpoint, in the best interest of both parties to have that party registration, so we've got that fundamental base of information to start from.
Sure. Well, it just makes a lot of sense to do it. I don't know many other states that have open registration. That don't require you to name a party, and a lot of people, and this is fair too, and this I guess answers one objection for the people that don't want to register by party, is that there's an independent slot. If you don't want to affiliate or align yourself with either party, all you've got to do is hit that independent box and you're home free.
Well, that's right. And registration by party has no impact whatsoever in terms of an individual's ability to vote in that general election.
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, it probably helps them. We've got to take a break right about here, Brad. I wanted to invite our listeners to give us a call, 1-866-627-5483. If you have a question for the Secretary of State, now is the time and now is the place. We'll be right back.